Hey everyone, Damien Dudovic here from ETDMA Network, bringing another Dawn of War Soulstorm replay. So this one is actually a 6-player free-for-all match on the Mortalis map. So from what I can see, the only victory condition we have is strategic points controlled. So it should be rather interesting to say the least. So we'll most likely have bases being destroyed before that happens. So the other condition they could have is having this critical location controlled, which I'd say they probably should have had that, but there you go, they didn't want that. So going, starting from the top and going clockwise, we've got the Orcs, Space Marines, more Space Marines, Necrons, more Necrons, and Tau, all versus each other, so it should be interesting to say the least. So we'll look at what this Orcs player is doing. They're starting out with a pretty standard build. A couple of slugger squads and a shooter squad, so they'll be going with a bit more of a shooty start to say the least. As for the Space Marines, they're going for a non-barracks build for some reason, not entirely sure why. And as for these other Space Marines, they're going for a relatively standard build. Got the barracks, they got the Space Marine squad coming out. Necrons, relatively standard build as well. It's got Necron Lord coming out pretty early though. Usually you have a few Necron warrior squads coming out, and it looks like this Necron player is doing a pretty similar thing as well, so they're going with a relatively early Necron Lord as well. Not as early as the other guy, of course, but still pretty early. And as for this Tau player, they're going for a Tau Commander, and that's it for now, from what I can see. So there you go, interesting times indeed. So everybody doesn't seem too eager to push into another player's base, probably because it'll also leave them vulnerable to the player next to them. We'll see. What do you know? Oh, oops, there we go. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Orcs were just trying a bit of a probe. I'm not entirely sure if maybe they had random positions on or something like that, which explain why the Orcs was doing just a bit of a probe there to see who they're up against. So they noticed that they're up against the Space Marines on the right and Tau on the left. Interesting combination indeed. So got an early bolter turret, or rather heavy bolter turret, going down for the Space Marine player. And Necron player not doing too much. They're getting a summon core relatively early. From what I can see, they don't seem to have any troops or anything. Although they do have a Necron Lord fighting another Necron Lord, which is kind of funny, really. So yeah, doing a bit of damage out. They see what happens, and never mind. I thought this Necron player might have been going to tier 2. And yes, this Tau player, they have a Tau commander and some Fire Warriors out. So they don't appear to have gone with Vespids, from what I can see. As for this Orc player, they're going with a big mech, and so yeah, got a couple of slugger squads out and a shooter squad out, so pretty standard stuff. Though we're not seeing much aggression though. Not entirely sure if maybe there was an agreement between the players to wait a certain amount of time or something, but interestingly enough, this Space Marine player is actually leveling, or rather taking up to tier 2, so they did get the barracks building out after all, but they only have a, they don't even have any Space Marine squads or a Force Commander out. Well, this Space Marine player in the bottom right though, looks like they're still in tier 1. Decided to go with more tier 1 troops, so they've got the Force Commander coming out, they've got a single Space Marine squad, and they've got Scout Marines with sniper rifles, which you don't see too often, so hopefully they'll be causing a bit of havoc at long range, you never know. So yes, lots happening. So it looks like the bottom Necron player was repulsed from the bottom left Necron player's base, although he managed to keep his Necron Lord intact, which is a pretty good move. So just a bit of initial harassment. And yeah, not much happening really. No one's attacking. The only player that's gone out into the center is the Space Marine player, and as you can see they've just gone unopposed at the moment, so don't seem to see anything going down for the Orcs, so they've got pretty standard build, but oh, there you go, they're going for pile of guns finally. Looks like they'll be keeping the big mech on range stance with his well, rather with his shooter squad, which will most likely get big shooters once the part of the guns comes out. So, yeah, not a lot happening. Not a lot happening. Everybody just seems pretty content to sit back and watch the points roll in, so to speak. Interesting placement for a snare trap. Oh, but then again, yeah, it's right next to the Orc base. That's right. Might just speed this up a bit, actually. Because yeah, we're not really seeing any action or anything. We're just seeing building, training, and perhaps a bit more building going for all the players at the moment. So, as you can see, just getting some upgrades. The Orcs are getting some upgrades for the big mech and their troops. Space Marine player, on the other hand, has got an army down. They have a stronghold down, and this Space Marine player has got another stronghold. Wow, that's bizarre. Building another stronghold. There must be really some sort of agreement for players not to rush each other or something, because you certainly would not see a second stronghold being built like that in a regular game, I'll tell you that much. It looks like this Space Marine player is at tier 3 at the moment, with an orbital command, because they are building a Terminator squad, and we finally have some action happening. So it looks like the Orc player is deciding to challenge this bottom right Space Marine player for supremacy of the middle, so to speak. So the Slugger squads, I'm not entirely sure if they'll be able to last long enough to kill off this critical location, or either to capture or decapture it. Looks like they did this, so not bad. As you can see there, they've sustained quite a bit of damage, and wow, so yeah, looks like this bottom right Space Marine player has decided to go on with pretty heavy sniper rifles, because they're not cheap. You have to pay for the Scout Marine and also a bit more than the regular cost of a Scout Marine just to get the sniper rifle out as well. So, and they're pretty fragile troops as well, but they might be able to make pretty good use of them, provided they can keep them out of the range of these Necron warriors and anything else that's they come across. So, Space Marine player doing a pretty good job of defending their base there. As for this top right Space Marine player, not doing much. All player hasn't really done much either. Mentioned TK at this point though, but as you can see, it's falling back to the bottom right Space Marines. While the Necrons, on the other hand, are not doing much either. So Tau not doing much either. So as the Orc player, I'm not entirely sure what they're doing. They're sending out only one Slugger squad out at a time, and it looks like they're at tier 3. I think that is Orky Fort. Maybe that's tier 4. Yeah, tier 3, tier 4. Going for tank bust infiltration research, and not building any tank busters though, from what I can see. So it looks like they might have been trying to stop this critical point from being captured, but don't know why they just sent out that single Orc squad there, Orc Slugger squad. So Tower finally deciding to get out of their base as well, get a bit of fresh air perhaps. Yeah, as you can see, Hellfire Dreadnought doing pretty good disruption there, so as you can see, does a pretty good job of just blowing troops around. So somehow they managed to do that without actually killing the troops in one go. Because if the explosive blast is that powerful enough, you'd think it would be powerful enough to just blow them up in a single go, but apparently not. So we've got some played ones dropping in from the most likely the bottom Necron player, doing not much damage really, and the Necron Lord looks like he's teleported in. So it looks like he teleported in first to provide some provide sight for his played ones to teleport in. Fortunately, it might just be backfiring on him though. So I don't think he's destroyed any buildings at all. It looks like they just went straight for the HQ, which is pretty lofty goal to say the least, and haven't really done anything at all. So also got tank busters finally coming in, so they've come in stealthed, and again not much happening. So we just seem to be having a few I don't know, a few hit and run attacks happening at the moment. really seeing any dedicated battles though, so maybe everyone's just too afraid to send out their troops, because then they'll be weakened, and then yeah, others can sweep in as well. But they'll have to send something out eventually if they want to win. Because yes, there's actually a victory condition where you win if you have a certain amount of resources accumulated, which is kind of funny really. I've never seen a game, and I've never actually played a game with that victory condition in place. It just seems kind of ridiculous to have that. Actually, just noticed the Space Marine player's got an actual Dreadnought as well, so they'll be able to assist with the melee damage as well, so... Not too much happening though. I'll just might fast forward again actually until we see some sort of action. So very relatively static game really. Although, what do we have here? This monolith is static. Okay, so it looks like the leftmost, or rather, I suppose you could say the bottom left Necron player is actually ticked up and got their super unit, the restored monolith. So, and they've actually got the stealth upgrade for their Necron Lord, which actually stealths other units as well. So you guys can see, even though that you reckon something like that would be pretty obvious, it's the Necron monolith is completely stealthed. So if this sorry, if this Necron player is going to do something about it, they're going to need to bring out some scarabs and possibly wraiths as well to actually even see the Necron monolith. So I'm surprised that they kept it separate from the main army. It would have been much better to have the Necron monolith maybe around here, and then have the Necron Lord here so he can cloak most of his army rather than what they have at the moment. So at the same time though, we have the bottom right Space Marines attacking the bottommost Necron player as well. So yeah, we finally got a bit of action happening. Looks like they'll let themselves be... wow, that was fast. Looks like they'll let themselves be delayed by that solar pulse, although it looks like the bottommost Necron player has been defeated, so... After all that waiting and ticking up, they gave up without too much of a fight, really. So that's one player down. We'll see what happens with these other players. So having this restored monolith will certainly make a bit of a difference in this sort of game. From what I can see, none of the other... Oh, what do you know? So we got a... so only one other player, which is this top right Space Marine player, has got their super unit out, which is the Land Raider. So yes, again, not much happening, so I might just fast forward again until we actually see some sort of action happening. And yeah, looks like the Orcs have decided to create a fighter bomber, so it's a pretty interesting artillery piece. It fires a grot-guided smart bomber, I suppose you could call it. They can actually miss its target, but when it actually does hit its target, it's pretty useful. So got an interesting battle happening here. Hellfire Dreadnought against Predators have seem to have been outfitted completely with las cannons, so it's not exactly going to go too well for it, to say the least. And yeah, we've got a regular Dreadnought coming in to do some melee damage as well. And we've got, of course, some orbital bombardment down. So yeah, we got top right Marine player deciding to take the initiative and to actually attack the bottom right player. Although for some reason they're not sending in all their forces at once, which I say is kind of ridiculous, but there you go. Yes, quite a bit of damage being done to this bottom right Space Marine player, who most likely will be the next player to get killed off from what I can see, although Tau have gotten their advanced vehicle units as well. They got one hammerhead gunship coming out. They'll be having a second one coming out, although they're still not doing too much. Although as you can see, they managed to kill off North building. And it looks like their second building is out as well. Looks like this Necron player is pretty content just to capture the southernmost Necron player's base, so not doing too much. There we go. Got a bit of a melee happening between Orcs and Assault Space Marines with a bit of assistance, I guess if you can call that. coming in from the Necro Monolith as well. Yeah, the Orcs seem to be cleaning up shop though. So Assault Space Marines, they're pretty decent at melee, but when they're faced with dedicated melee units, they're not exactly... well, they most likely won't come out on top unless you've got the numbers advantage. Although you can certainly help stack the odds in your favour though by having a pretty well upgraded sergeant and you know, having the regular health and weapon upgrades as well for soldiers. So. Although Space Marines have managed to hold the line though against this relatively small Orc onslaught. Looks like the Orcs do have something to worry about. The Hammerhead gunship was blowing apart their base, so it looks like they got destroyed. And looks like this one's going to go down in short order as well, unless the Tau player can actually do something. Not really doing too much though at all. And this Necron player is not doing much though. They really, well, they could just swoop in and take out this space relatively easily in my opinion. But I'll have to see what happens, especially with this Space Marine player at the top right being occupied with the Orcs and the Orcs being occupied with the Tau. So everybody being relatively occupied will certainly be a good opportunity for this Necron player, the bottom left Necron player, to actually try to assault the bottom right Space Marine player's base, but who knows, maybe they don't have the vision of that, so they don't know what's happening. So Orcs have decided to go with a more piecemeal attacks, and as you can see that's working about as well as one would accept. Sorry, expect, I mean. And yeah, that's the Grot Bomb going down, and yeah, doing quite a bit of disruption, as you can see. And another one going down. Actually, fire pretty frequently. That's what happens when it misses. You can see it for some reason. It doesn't just slam into the ground and blow up. It actually glides along the ground, which is kind of funny to see, really. So yeah, no one else is really fighting each other. We just got the Orcs and Tau exchanging a bit of fire over this mountain range. So yeah, pretty advanced technology that they both have. As you can see, they can both shoot directly through the mountain or through the hillside there. And why not? Why not? Although it looks like the Orcs might be getting the upper hands though. Although they are getting cut to ribbons though. They really need Storm Boys, basically the Orc version of Assault Space Marines, so they can try to jump into the middle of these Fire Warriors and do some lead disruption. Although Flash Kits with a bigger mech isn't too bad either, although the problem is the Flash Kits are relatively fragile. Looks like they've also got a War Boss as well, so not too shabby, not too shabby. So I might just try to select something else so that we don't have that those health bars on the screen there. See, unfortunately, I think both the bigger mech and the War Boss have been taken down, and yeah, these troops that for some reason have decided to remain behind are also getting cut down pretty quickly as well. So Tau doing a pretty good job of mopping up there. Might just have to wait and see if they actually take advantage of that. And looks like they're not. That's kind of funny. So we've got a second Hammerhead gunship coming down from the sky, I suppose, according to its graphics. The Tau player, but looks like one of them is pretty close to getting killed off, actually. Although I don't know what his Orc player's thinking, just sending in these troops like one squad at a time. It's pretty wasteful. There's an upgrade that gets you free sluggers. I'll just see. Oh, okay, yeah, they do have the free sluggers upgrade, so yeah, that's why they are continually sending in sluggers like that. So in that case, the Orc player would certainly do well to actually build more barracks buildings to to be able to produce more of these units simultaneously. And interestingly enough, they have a squig off that's actually trapped behind these smaller buildings. They'd actually have to delete quite a bit, which is what they're doing right now, in order for the slugger for the squig off to actually make it out of the base. At the same time, we've got the bottom right Space Marines attacking the top right Space Marines, I think. Oh no, no it's not, no. It's into the Deceiver, so It's a bit like Essence of Chamomile perhaps, but more deceptive, as you can see. So he's decided to pay a little visit, just for the fun of it. And as for this Space Marine player, they're still hanging on. I'd say they're only hanging on there because this Necro player is deciding to hang back for whatever reason. So interestingly enough, this game, according to the progress bar at the bottom right, doesn't have too much longer to go, although I don't see how this is going to get resolved so quickly unless if we finally see a bit of a death march happening by this Necron player. So finally this bottom right Space Marine player, I think it's the bottom right Space Marine player. Yeah, it is, bottom right Space Marine player is doing a bit of an attack on the bottom of Necron, who's in the bottom space at the moment, although they're not going to do too much damage with a single squad of Grey Knights and Land Raiders. So certainly using some elite troops there, but I don't think it was really the best idea to take the Necrons head on like this. They just don't have the firepower to do that, or the staying power to take that much damage either. So looks like they'll wear themselves out, and hopefully the Necron player will just come into their base and mop up as well. So a bit of a foolish move happening there by the tower there. They just sent in their Hammerhead gunship to be killed off. They are producing a second Hammerhead gunship. Apparently population's full though, which means... Okay, so yeah, we've got a couple of drone harbingers as well taking up vehicle caps. So most likely the tower player will have to create small buildings to raise their building cap. So we go. This Necron player is still sitting back, which is kind of surprising, really. I mean, surely they must see that this Space Marine place is pretty much undefended. So maybe one could say maybe they're afraid of getting trapped in this Space Marine player's base with this top right Space Marine player's units making a bit of a flanking attack through here. But keep in mind that just about all of their troops can be teleported, and the Necron monolith itself can teleport as well. So anything that really can't be teleported are pariahs and these destroy units as well. Although interesting enough, we finally have a bit of an attack happening by the Orcs, so just see if we can get a good view of that. Well, there's actually so much happening on the screen at once. We're getting a bit of a drop in frames per second actually. And yeah, we've got a rather big bomb being built, and killing off a lot of tower units actually, so that was pretty well placed bomb by the Orc player, although it looks like they've killed off a couple of their own units as well. So yeah, it looks like the Orc player was a bit amused at that. At the same time we got the Necrons finally coming in, but they were just mopping up this, so we'll just focus on what's happening here. So unfortunately the Swigoff is on his last legs though, and it looks like this Orc attack might peter out as well, although they do have 3 sluggers coming in though. I'm surprised they haven't built more, actually do they? Oh, yeah, they get 3. Okay, yeah, they have built another barracks, but yeah, they might be better off building a couple more though. So yeah, you don't see that too often either, when the Orc player is actually able to advance so much that they get their free sluggers squad upgrade. Tower's still able to hold back their attack though, so not doing too badly. Though it's going to be hard to compete when you get so many, well, basically you get how many free sluggers you want. So yeah, they still take up population cap and all that, but yeah, just being able to requisition as many as you want without it costing you anything is a pretty powerful ability. I'm surprised that's a big Orcs that sort of ability really. I mean, granted sluggers aren't exactly too robust, but they make pretty good meat shields as you can see, and yeah, they can still do melee disruption, pretty good melee disruption, especially against troops like these fire warriors, which is absolutely atrocious in a way. So yeah, just having a look at this of the map. So top right Space Marine player hasn't done much. Necron players currently mopping up this Space Marine player's base. So yeah, we're finally getting to see some action, so we can almost see how this might actually end relatively soon. So yeah, as you can see, the Slugger squads actually act as a pretty good screen for the Orcs ranged units as well. So Flash Kids and Tank Busters actually do pretty decent damage, but they're not exactly very hardy units, while Sluggers on the other hand, when they're upgraded, can actually take quite a bit of damage for their cost before they get killed off. And when you factor in that you can make so many of those guys for free, it's a pretty good deal actually. So there we go, just that. So there we go. So yeah, Orc player is finally mopping up the Tau player base. So I don't know, maybe if they were waiting to get that upgrade, so they'd be able to just send all those mass amounts of sluggers to the Tau base or not. But yeah, in any case, it certainly worked out for them. So it's fine. It's good to see them finally putting all their units to good use. And there we go, there goes the Tau player. So, starting to see a bit of a consolidation, so to speak, between these players happening. Just noticed this Orc has actually been floating quite a bit of power actually, so surprised they haven't made some more vehicles. In fact, from what I can... okay, yeah, they have made a few vehicles though. They got the looted tanks out, and I think their fighter bombers... or, well, a single fighter bomber is still alive, so not bad. So they should definitely try to repair that looted tank though before they go for another attack though. And interesting enough, yeah, we have this top right Space Marine player heading directly for the Necrons instead of for the Orcs actually, which I don't know if that was the wisest of moves, especially given how close this Orc base is to the top right Space Marine player base, and especially since they could have just let the Necrons mop up the bottom right Space Marine player's base. But there you go. So yeah, unfortunately, Space Marine player's base is relatively undefended, although they've got quite a few turrets, and yeah, that's actually a pretty good thing about these strongholds or HQ buildings. They allow you to make more buildings, or rather more power plants and more turrets, depending on how many HQ buildings you have out. So usually you only have one HQ building out, you don't see too many turrets and power plants, but Space Marine player decided to go for early HQ, which is an interesting thing to do, and yeah, as you can see, they had quite a few turrets to to do a bit of defense. And yeah, interesting enough, they've kept their regular Space Marine squad in the back there though, and wow, they've just given up for whatever reason. So yeah, that's actually a bit of a graphical glitch you're seeing there. This Space Marine player is no longer there actually, so the only thing we have left are the Orcs and the Necrons, and the bottom right Space Marine player who's actually decided to hold on. Wow, that's quite something actually. Not entirely sure where his oh, there it is, the orbital command. Okay, yeah, he's decided to leave as well. So yeah, it looks like it's now between the Orcs and the Necrons, so it should make for an interesting battle if we actually see that happening. So not entirely sure if maybe the Necron player will just quit, so a bit anticlimactic really. We saw far too much, I think it was maybe intentional, but yeah, we saw quite a bit of camping going on by all the players concerned, and yeah, and they just seem to give up pretty quickly, regardless, which is yeah, certainly very anticlimactic. But there you go, we got to see some interesting battles though when they actually did happen in hopefully in 3D, if you're able to watch this in 3D, and we might actually be seeing a final battle between the Orcs and the Necron player, at least before one of them decides to give up. So at the moment, the wow, that's a pretty big mass of tank busters there, and yeah, Necron Lord teleported straight into the middle of that. And I think we've got a Lord Destroyer somewhere. There we go, Lord Destroyer, yeah, casting that stasis ability to hold some of their squads in place. So apparently Necron player has no resources. Wow, that's unexpected. Necrons, they get their resources from just from plasma generators. Although controlling critical locations with listening posts also enables them to build more troops and allows them to build those troops faster. But well, you never see a Necron player say they have no resources, unless if all their plasma generators have been destroyed, which well, they're about to be destroyed, but they certainly were standing before. So yes, interesting. Hence this map so much, although he's decided to play on it for whatever reason. So it looks like the Orc might just, yep, they've got the game in the bag, so to speak. So rather interesting game to say the least. I'll just see if I can get a close up on that. There we go, almost. There we go. So yeah, it's the Grot piloted smart bomb coming from the fighter bomber there. So as you can see, he's having the time of his life. Should be pretty short-lived to say the least. So there you go. Another game done. So yeah, hopefully you should be seeing this video along with the other videos. So hopefully they'll be uploading to these two videos at the same time. And until that happens, this has been Damien Dudovic signing off.